You know how you used to wonder if your toys came to life when you weren't in the room? Well, that whole fantasy is basically becoming a reality. AI is completely rewriting the story of playtime, and it's happening right now.
I mean, just look at these. They might look like your standard everyday plush toys, but don't be fooled. Inside, they are packed with some serious tech that lets them listen, learn, and interact in ways that used to be pure science fiction.
So, that brings us to the real question. What if your teddy bear didn't just listen, but actually remembered? Remembered your stories, your jokes, your secrets, and actually grew up alongside you? That is the massive leap we're talking about.
Okay, let's really get into it. Welcome to the Flow Tao Salon. For this explainer, we're breaking down a really fantastic report from December 2025. It comes from the analysts at Moojing Market Intelligence, and it's all about the massive opportunities in the AI toy market. And trust me, what they found is pretty incredible.
First things first, let's talk about the sheer scale of this thing. To put it lightly, this market isn't just growing, it is absolutely on fire. So, to get a grip on this, you have to look at the entire playground first. In 2024, the global toy market was already a mind-blowing 797.1 billion yuan industry. That's the huge baseline we're starting from.
But here's where it gets really interesting. China's toy market isn't just keeping pace, it's actually accelerating. It's leaving the global average in the dust and grabbing a bigger and bigger slice of that massive pie. And you know what one of the biggest drivers is? AI.
And this is the number that makes you sit up straight. While the whole market is growing, the online market for AI toys in China has just exploded. We're talking 394.9% growth year over year. That's not a trend, that's a revolution. So why this insane online growth? Well, the report totally nails it. Platforms like Douyin, that's China's version of TikTok, are the perfect place to show these toys off. You can see the toy react in real time in a short video, which is way more powerful than just a picture on a website. It drove a ridiculous 4,391% sales increase on that platform alone.
So, when you hear AI toy, you're probably picturing some kind of hard, plastic robot, right? Well, what's actually flying off the shelves? It's probably not what you'd expect.
This chart just says it all. Just a year ago, those high-tech robots were king, making up over 60% of the market. And now, they've been totally overtaken. The demand for AI plush toys, the soft, cuddly, emotional ones, has more than doubled. And this tells us something really important. People aren't just buying tech, they're buying a friend. They want connection, not just code.
So this new market is basically breaking down into 3 different levels. At the entry level, for under 500 yuan, you get things like Bubble Pal, basic voice chats, usually designed around a character you already know. Then you step up to the mid-tier. This is where you find stuff like the Talking Tom Cat, with way more advanced features like recognizing emotions and speaking multiple languages. And then, at the high end, it's a whole other world. We're talking sophisticated robots with medical-grade applications, used for things like therapy.
Okay, let's look at a case study to see how this actually works in the real world. First up is a brand called Hy-Vee, and they have just absolutely nailed this market with a super smart strategy. Hy-Vee's secret sauce is what they call AI plus IP. IP meaning intellectual property. They take their core AI technology, the same stuff that powers their own Bubble Pal toy, and they put it inside characters that kids around the world already know and love, like Ultraman. It's a genius move, because you don't have to build that emotional connection from zero. The kids already love the character.
But it's not all about friendship and companionship. Our next case study, Dr. Look, is taking a totally different approach. They're focused on AI's ability to see and understand the world around it.
So the key difference here is the application of the AI. The Dr. Look device is essentially a super smart camera for kids. A kid can just point it at anything, a flower, a car, a dog, and the AI will tell them exactly what it is and explain it to them. It literally turns the entire world into an interactive classroom.
So we've seen the wild market growth and the cool new products. Now let's zoom out for a second. Because this isn't just about making cooler toys. This is about fundamentally changing what play even means, and it's shaking up the entire business of an industry.
This slide just lays it out so clearly. Think about old toys. They're passive, right? You push a button, it says one of 5 things. The content never ever changes. But AI toys, they're dynamic. They can have actual conversations, create new stories out of thin air, and, this is the real game changer, they can recognize how a child is feeling and respond to it.
But get this, the report points out this really fascinating split in why people are buying these things. In China,
The main motivation is education. Parents see them as a tool to help their kids learn and develop. But in markets outside of China, the focus is almost all on emotional companionship, on sparking creativity, and even helping kids manage their moods. It's like a tale of two different approaches to childhood.
And maybe the biggest change of all is the business model, which is being completely flipped on its head. You're not just buying a toy once anymore. You're buying the physical toy, and then you're subscribing to a service for new stories, new learning games, or even personality updates. This turns a one-time purchase into a long-term relationship with the customer.
So after going through all of this, what are the big things you really need to remember? Let's boil it all down to the 3 most important takeaways from this AI toy revolution.
All right, here's the bottom line. First, forget the clunky, expensive robots. The real heart of the market has moved to affordable, cuddly, emotional companions. Second, the business model has changed forever. It's not just about the one-time sale, it's about the long-term subscription that keeps customers engaged. And third, we're seeing the world split on why these toys exist. China is building AI tutors, while the rest of the world is building AI friends.
And all of this leaves us with one last kind of huge question to think about. As these AI companions get smarter and more integrated into a kid's life, what does that do to our definition of a relationship? When your toy knows you better than anyone, where do you draw the line?